Yeah, go ahead and secure the door. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Mark. I'm America's Commander of American Legion Post 64. Thank you for coming this evening to honor our Vietnam War veterans with the Vietnam War Medallion Ceremony Program. So as we get started, we will go regular order in terms of our posts, and then we'll go over the ceremony and the program itself. Sergeant Arms, can you post? Everyone, could you please rise? Hand salute. Ready, two. Chaplain, uncover. Roy, want to go there?
Most gracious Father of us all, from whom comes all help and blessings, look upon us gathered here, and with thy favor, direct us in all our actions. Grant us to us vigilant hearts. Give us minds to know thee, vigilant to seek thee, and wisdom to find thee. Sanctify us with thy presence. Bless us with thy might, and assist us with thy counsel, that all our endeavors may begin with thee, and through thee may be applied happily amended. Amen.
Amen. Remain uncovered. Pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Cover. You may be seated. I'd like to introduce our guest, Bill Turner, the Executive Director of Kansas Veteran Services, is here to my left. To my right, Shelley Sweeney, Director of Public Affairs for the Kansas Office of Veteran Services. And where's Kathy? Right there, wave. There's Kathy Lundy. She's our quilts. She's for Quilts of Valor. So as we get this started, I'm going to turn it over to Bill, and he's going to kind of talk about the history of the award before we start the presentation. Bill?
I think Shelley might.
Shelley has it?
Let Shelley start.
Shelley has it. Shelley's part.
If I don't allow Shelley to speak first here.
Heck to pay. Okay. Hi, thank you all for coming tonight.
That's right.
So a little bit about the Vietnam War Medallion. It is a state award that your Kansas legislature approved in 2011, so it's been around that long. But the truth is, not every Vietnam era veteran has known about it or understood that they were eligible for it. And I want to thank Mark and Jennifer and Bruce for helping organize the folks from here, from Pittsburgh, from your Legion Post, who are eligible to be able to share this with them today as a small token of Kansas recognition and thanks for your service during the Vietnam era. And here's what that medallion means. So in the state of Kansas, if you served from February 28th of 1961 to May 7th of 1975, no matter where you served, that's the Vietnam era of service, you are eligible for this medallion and a certificate and a letter signed by the governor, and it's just a small token of thanks. So what I want to say about Vietnam era veterans is this. I'm a Desert Storm veteran, and the way that Vietnam veterans were treated during their service time and when they came home, as we know, was inadequate. It was shameful. What I'll say to you all of you here, I know the ones in the front here are the ones getting the medallions, and families. When we landed from Desert Storm on the tarmac coming home in 1991. Do you know who was there in droves with banners and flyers and welcoming us home? Was Vietnam veterans. And even today, I stack Vietnam veterans up as being the best advocates for other veterans that I've seen in my observation. And I've been in the political arena a little while. And so I want to thank you all for being good advocates, not just for me, but you continue to advocate, and not just for Vietnam veterans. And that's not nothing, that's a big thing, and I want to thank you for doing that. Also, thank you to all the families who support your Vietnam era veterans. Even if you didn't know them back then when they were deployed or when they were serving, you know them now, and you know that and there are some residuals from serving in Vietnam and during that era. And families support veterans. They do some good work too. Families serve too, so thank you, families. That's really all I wanted to say. I wanted to thank you for your advocacy. The final thing I wanted to say while I have the microphone is this. So we've met the folks from this Legion post and the auxiliary last year in June. I think May or June was when we came down and met with your leadership. And since then, my observation of this post, the leadership and the people and the auxiliary, is that you all are tremendous advocates for the veterans in your community. You go to events, you go and support veterans, you've come to some of our events and worked with us and to help veterans in your community. And so thank you to all of your post members and your auxiliary and your families. That's what I want you to take away from this, from the Kansas Office of Veteran Services. You do a lot of work for veterans yourselves in your community. We just want to support you, and we want to support veterans. And this is one way to say thank you, that we're going to do this ceremony tonight for you and with you. Thanks. Sir?
I might have to move this up a little bit. Can everybody hear me okay?
I fell down.
Oh, did it? It's kind of hard there, yes, sir. So, first off, thanks, Shelley. Shelley's been with us for, gosh, now it's been going on about a year, 14 months. But Shelley's one of the first folks that I met when I came into the job back in August of 21, and I joined this particular office at the state, and going around attending various events and just learning what we do and how we can help veterans, I ran into Shelley, and repeatedly you go from one thing to another, and she was always there. At the time, she was working with the federal VA out of the Eastern Kansas healthcare system. And I swear, everywhere I go, every veteran seems to know her, recognize her, and for all that she does and for all the help. But now, I happen to be out west today with the midwinter conference here with the American Legion, and interestingly enough, there was not one, your name didn't come up once. There wasn't one person there that knew you, but there were about 20 times that it came up. So it wasn't once, at least 20 times going around the crowd. Where's Shelley? Why isn't she here today? And what's going on there? And hey, youngster, you need to make sure you bring her with you every time. So again, thank you very much. But thank you all for doing this, and thank you for allowing us to be a part of it. Shelley has said a great deal about kind of what this medal represents and what it means, I think, to be able to stand here before you and before veterans from the Vietnam era and all that you represent. My father came into the Army right on the heels of World War II and went into the Marine Corps. Later, he had left the Marine Corps and then came into the Army later and finished his career in the Army. When I was in middle school, he took me down to Parris Island and showed me his yellow boot footprints on the asphalt there where he stood. And he told me how when he joined the Marine Corps back in 1946, how that made a man out of him real quick. So they took a smart aleck kid off the streets of Philadelphia and made a man out of him real quickly. He learned not to talk back, and he learned to fall in line. He learned about discipline and standards and values, and he did his very best to pass that on to all of us. And whenever we would talk together, he'd always say, "Hey son, when you walk away, make sure you stand tall, hold your head high, and be proud." And he didn't mean it in an arrogant way, he didn't mean it in a snobbish way or anything like that, but he meant you need to carry yourself in such a way that you can be proud of what you've done. And I say that, I guess, because all of you that have served in here do that. You have done it, you do it today, you'll continue to do it. And I'm most grateful and thankful for that, because of who you are and what you represent and all that you've done for our nation, for our communities, and for fellow service members is phenomenal. And you should hold your heads high, and you need to be proud. And there's a little video I've shown and some other things that we've done where it says, you know, someday when your grandchildren, your children ask, you know, what did you do to make a difference in your life? You can say that you joined the service, you joined the military, you defended our Constitution, you defended our nation, and that's awesome. And so me here joining the Army in 1986, I truly stand on the shoulders of these gentlemen and these folks from Vietnam because of what you endured and what you stood for and what you represented and what you taught us. And without that, I probably wouldn't be standing here today. I wouldn't have the opportunities that I had in life. I wouldn't have had the examples to follow. And it's truly meaningful. And so I really mean that from the heart. I know, as Shelley already stated, that you were ill-treated when you came home, not only by kind of the nation at large, but quite frankly, from other service members who had served in conflicts before you. They were conflicted and they didn't know how to act and they didn't embrace you. But like Shelley said, we were embraced by the Vietnam community. Those folks that had been there and had served and had been a part of that, you were the ones that led the charge that made sure that all of us from the Desert Storm, Desert Shield, or post 9/11, that we all continue to be embraced. And you don't have to do that because of the way you were treated, but because you're bigger than that, because of what you do for us, you've allowed us to flourish and to be able to continue. And so to pass that on to other generations is huge. And so with that in mind, again, this is one small way that I think our state and Kansans and our legislature and our governor are offering to be able to give back that recognition to you and a chance. So thank you for allowing us to do it. I am proud for and like I said, grateful for all that you've done for us. We love and respect you each. And with that, I think we're going to go ahead and hand out these medals at this time. Is that right, sir?
In one
Just a moment. Okay.
just a moment.
But thank you all very much. Appreciate it.
So, one thing I wanted to say about the state of Kansas's veteran services, we all know what VSOs are, right? Veteran Service Officers. Well, the state, they have the same thing, but it's VSR, right? And so when we had that, when they had that one-stop shop at Pitt State earlier this year, I was provided representation from a VSR, right? I had filed claims in the past, 0 rating, right? They helped me file my claims. It came back, and I've been rated at 80%. So that's the kind of work that these people do for us, right? So if you have an issue in terms of that, please don't hesitate to get a hold of them. And like I said, they have VSRs all over the state. Perhaps, Shelley, you guys will have another event like that. We serviced, over 100 veterans over the course of that weekend. So it was an outstanding thing. And then the one last thing, when we talk about Vietnam veterans, and I had the honor of last June going to Honor Flight. And we just had our first Vice Mike returned recently. And our Vietnam veterans have just, in the state of Kansas, only 25% of eligible Vietnam veterans have gone to Honor Flight. And it's crazy, right? Because it is such an honor. They do a tremendous job. You got different ones. The one out of Wichita, you got one here close, Parsons. And you got some up in Kansas City. Huh?
Prairie View High School.
Prairie View High School. And they all run it just a little bit different, but I mean, find your honor flight from where you live. It's a simple application, and take advantage of it because it is an honor. And in saying that, I wanted to talk before we do the medals about our POW MIA remembrance, right? So we have the table back there, and there's a list of things for civilians that are here that may not know what that represents. And so I'm going to share that with you. Those who have served and those currently serving in the uniformed service of the United States are ever mindful that the sweetness of enduring peace has always been tainted by the bitterness of personal sacrifice. We are compelled to never forget that while we enjoy our daily pleasures, there are others who have endured and may still be enduring the agonies of pain, deprivation, and imprisonment. Before we begin our activities, we will pause to recognize our POWs and MIAs. We call your attention to the small table at the rear of the room here, which occupies a place of dignity and honor. It is set for one, symbolizing the fact that members of our armed forces are missing from our ranks. They are referred to as POWs and MIAs. We call them comrades. They are unable to be with their loved ones, families, so we join to pay humble tribute to them and to bear witness to their continued absence. The table is small, symbolizing the frailty of one prisoner, also against his own or her suppressors. The tablecloth is white, and the vase signifies the blood. I'm sorry, I lost my place. The tablecloth is white, signaling purity of their intentions to respond to their country in the call of arms. The single rose in the vase signifies the blood that may have been shed and sacrificed to ensure the freedom of our beloved in the United States of America. This rose also reminds us of the family and friends of our missing comrades who keep faith while awaiting their return. A red ribbon of the vase represents an upholding determination for a proper accounting for of our comrades who are still missing. A slice of lemon on the plate reminds us of their bitter fate. Salt sprinkled on the plate reminds us of the countless fallen tears of families as they wait. The glass, it's inverted. They cannot toast with us at this time. The chair is empty. They are not here. The candle is reminiscent of the light of hope, which lives in our hearts to emulate their way home from their captors to open arms of a grateful nation. The American flag reminds us of that many of them that may never return and have paid the supreme sacrifice to ensure our freedom. Let us pray to the Supreme Commander that all of our comrades will soon be back with us within our ranks. Let us remember and never forget their sacrifice. May God forever watch over them and protect them and their families. All right, so let's get to the medal ceremony. Ready? Yep. Ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I'm going to call your name. I was hoping, and I did not get it, but I was hoping to get a little bit more information on each of our people that are receiving the medal. I did not, so I'm only going to announce your branch of service. Okay. And then when you come up and get the medal, do we have somebody besides the media taking pictures in case we want pictures for that? Do we have anybody that can? JJ, thank you. All right, first one, Alan Icorn, U.S. Army.
So I'm asking you to come up and turn around, sir, and then walk. So this is
That up for a picture.
you.
Thank you. John Gilpin, U.S. Army, is not here today, unfortunately. Walter Johnston, U.S. Army.
Family make it? Go to the front. That's yours too.
Thank you. Bruce Kennedy, United States Marine Corps and United States Navy.
Come on, we gotta get a picture, everybody. There's that. Okay. And there's the nice medallion.
Raymond Streeter, United States Air Force. Is Raymond here? He is not. No Raymond? Forrest Stanley, United States Navy. Roger McCracken, United States Air Force. Michael Harry, United States Navy. Tommy Eldridge, United States Navy and U.S. Army. He is not here today. He called, said that there was a family issue, so he was unable to attend. I'd also like to next announce 3 of our veterans that has already, my wife's waving to me. Oh, you're right. Sorry about that. I skipped over. Ron Papadeer, United States Army. His last name's Deer, and we call him Papa Ron. So he's also Santa Claus for us during the holidays.
Do you have Grant Stanley on there? Do you have Grant Stanley?
He's last because you're gonna get something else.
There you go, sir. Thank you.
So I'd like the following veterans to please rise when I call your name. These are Vietnam veterans that have already received their medallion, but we want to make sure that we recognize them because they're with us today. And that's John Swartz, United States Air Force. Vern Moore, United States Marine Corps. Darrell Elliott, United States Army. Thank you, gentlemen. All right. We're going to kind of do this kind of weird because it's our last 2 presentations. So, can I have my wife, Jennifer, please come forward? And the reason I called her forward, I wanted her to present my medal to me. So, Mark Manricus, United States Navy. Could have done it what? The same? We will. Thank you. All right. Last but not least. All right, our last one is Grant Hank Stanley, United States Navy.
Stand by. And from Kansas. This from Missouri. And that one's from Kansas over there.
I understand he lived here in Kansas for quite a while. He's not representing, but absolutely deserving also as well. And so thank you very much, sir. We appreciate it.
Hank, if you could remain standing there. And if I can call all the veterans that have received their medal so we can get one group picture, and those veterans that were honored, please come up for a group picture. We'll just line up right here. Oh, Bill. I'm sorry. Where am I? Yeah, no, they could just, well, if they want to bring them. Everybody up. I'm sorry.
Take a little bit. Already. Love it.
Bruce, scoot in. There you go. And like you're a submarine. Don't fall.
All right. Thank you, guys. If you all can be seated. Hank, stay where you are. Before we eat it all, if you didn't get a chance to look at the cake at the back of the room, I think they did a tremendous job on our Vietnam cake. It has all the branches of the service, except for Space Force, obviously because they weren't around then. And then, of course, the colors of Vietnam campaign ribbons. So they did a real good job. It says "Welcome Home," so that was very nice. And Walmart did that for us, so they did a good job. All right, next, the reason Hank is staying up here is I want to introduce Kathy Lundy of the Quilts of Valor. Kathy?
Hello, everyone. I'm Kathy Lundy, and I'm the leader of Quilts of Valor out of Pittsburgh. Also 5 counties in Kansas as far as that goes.
Kathy.
Kathy, here you go, man.
That's good. You don't need to hear me.
I could use my teacher voice.
Yeah, you can use your teacher voice. Gail's going to talk about where Quilt of Valor started, because I know most of you in the room have already heard the routine of the whole foundation thing.
Well, Quilts of Valor have been in existence in Pittsburgh since 2018. And I think we're more fortunate than a lot of groups like ours. We actually meet every week and have a designated place, and we sew together every week. It's the most fun, for me anyway. And 76, since 2018, our local group has awarded, this will be 278 quilts that we've done. It's indeed a pleasure for me, and I wish my husband was here because he was a Vietnam veteran. And I heard you mention about the sentiment at the time, and I can remember when all the war sentiment at the time. But my husband was always very proud of his military service, even in spite of that. So I think this would be one of the things that he'd be happy for me to do. So tonight we're honoring Grant Sandley. Served in the Navy from 1966 to 1970. Transit lines aircraft in San Diego, and support on USS Ticonderoga. What kind of support was that on the USS Ticonderoga?
AIMD support equipment.
And 2 years in San Diego?
Yeah.
So it's our pleasure to honor you and recognize you tonight. In general, it's been in existence in 2003. The first Quilt of Valor was awarded to a young soldier in the Walter Reed Medical Center when a local resident, a lady, Catherine Roberts, who was a nurse, had a dream about that, and so she made a quilt and took it to the chaplain at the Walter Reed and urged him to give it to some veteran. Well, he put her off and was reluctant to do it because he thought the value of it would exceed what he was allowed to accept as a gift. So she kept pressing him, and finally decided it was easier to ask for forgiveness and permission, so he went ahead and awarded it to someone. And then after that, she and her group kept it up, and after a little bit, of course, the media got hold of it, and then he started getting quilts from everywhere, more than he could possibly. So he started spreading them out and sharing them with other military hospitals, and that's kind of how it got started. Coming up on, as a national organization, approaching 500,000 quilts since 2003. Right now, there are more than 600 groups like ours, involving 10 or 11,000 volunteer seamstresses. And the last 3 or 4 years, the Quilts of Valor have been awarding at the rate of 32 or 33,000 every year. So this is, there's ceremonies like this that happen all the time. So it is a pleasure. So you want to show us? We'll show you the quilt he's going to have.
Yeah. Well, none of our quilts are ever alike. We can honestly say that no two that we've ever presented have been alike. Even if we had used the same pattern, the fabric would make the difference. And this is the one we've chosen for you. And it does have your official Quilt of Valor label on it. Okay.
That one. Yeah.
Okay. Part of our routine is once we figured out what a real triangle is. Yes, we've done 200 of these and we still haven't figured it out.
It's awkward.
So anyway, welcome home.
Thank you.
And to go along with your quilt is the certificate. And this one reflects the 250th anniversary, our birthday,
Okay.
our country birthday. If you know of anyone that you would like to put their name in, you can either talk to me. I'll leave some business cards here. You can go online to Quilts of Valor Foundation, and it's called Nominated Quilt. And so anyway, whatever you'd rather do. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I might break that somewhere. Leave it alone. It might fall. Sorry, Rick. All right. Where am I? Here we go. All right, you guys hungry? Yeah? Maybe, just a little bit? I'm sorry, could you please stand up for me? Yep. And could you give us your name?
William Jordan.
William Jordan. He's a vice, oh, he's the commander now. That's right, you guys flipped. He's commander now of Post 248. And he was also a Vietnam veteran, and you received your medallion?
Yes.
Yes. And I wanted to make sure I honored him because I did not have him on my list. Thank you for your service. All right, so if we're hungry, if you could please rise. Uncover. Chaplain.
We thank thee, Lord, for those who have prepared the food we are about to eat, partake, and for those who serve it. May the food and fellowship strengthen us to serve you better. May the strength of God sustain us. May the power of God preserve us. May the hand of God protect us. May the way of God direct us. May the love of God go with us. Amen.
Amen. Cover.
If I can, please, I don't mean to hijack things one more time, but Jennifer, Mr. Kennedy, Bruce, can somebody come up here, please, for a moment? Bruce.
Jennifer.
I just wanted to say thank you. This is one of our coins from the Kansas Office of Veteran Services. It's kind of designed to have one of our own folks did it, a veteran. It's the state of Kansas kind of simulated here in the middle, and it just kind of express our thanks for the professionalism, the support, and all that goes into supporting veterans here in the state. And I wanted to present it to Mark and Jennifer and Bruce to say thank you for putting this together, helping to organize it, coming to us, reaching out to us, saying they wanted to honor some folks here, and just wanted to say thank you very much for doing that.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you. And thank you too, man. We appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. And I also want to recognize our auxiliary, the 394. G was here. G is Glennis. Yeah, where are you, G? There you are. Right, so she set up our area today, so great job. Thank you, G, and the other ladies of the auxiliary. And then our staff, they're back there cooking, so it's about ready time to eat. All right, so that concludes our ceremony for today. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for coming out, and let's get some chow.
Are you gonna sit up here?